I sobbed. Oh no, poor Anton. Simeon put his knee into the snow pile and ripped the glasses out of my numb fingers. Give me my glasses back. I won't make it home. Bullshit. There was only my art homework left. My favorite subject. I needed to draw some sort of magic beast. Oh, a triceratops. I wanted to draw a dino at first, but my brush reached toward the orange paint all by itself. Oh god, that looks like a creepy fox. One stroke after another, the picture of a fox started slowly forming on a piece of paper. I barely managed to calm down, only after closing the curtains in my room shut. But as soon as I closed my eyes, memories of my day started jumping around in front of me. Katya. You went nuts! Nuts! Help! Help! Petra went completely insane! At the same moment, the crowd around her became louder. It started whistling and roaring. And throwing. Well, shit! Oh, God! The slender silhouettes of students became larger, wider. They shot upward toward the ceiling, turned into a giant black forest chock full of toothy faces. The ledge outside my windows creaked ominously, as if something huge was sitting on top of it. And the thing that pretended to be Oya started spreading, changing shape, grew to scary heights under the light of a carnivorous moon. Hunter, please, come closer, come here. The voice didn't belong to my sister anymore. The thing that was hiding behind my curtains got tired of pretending, making me look like a fool. The bleak window was creeping closer. Curtains rustled. I reached out to move them aside so I could look my fear in the eye. At that moment, I heard noise coming from my parents' bedroom. Without thinking, I pulled the curtain to the side in one swing. Though there was something shining on the ledge among the scattered feathers. My glasses. The ones that Semyon took from me. How did they get here? Was that a gift from the gurgling night? Did that owl really bring them here? Привет, my lovelies, and welcome to a new episode of Tiny Bunny. The third episode just came out, I think on the 30th of December, but I was on vacation, so took me a couple days to get it recorded, but here I am, ready and excited as all of you hopefully are, to get this started again. I don't think I remember all of the story parts of the last few episodes, but if you want to have a little reminder, a little fresher upper, you can just watch my older videos on them. I did videos on all the episodes. They should be linked somewhere. And yeah, I'd say let's get it started with a new episode. I really hope... Okay, it's still there. It's still there. I remember last time I had a problem with a save that didn't save. So that was... yeesh. Alright. Let's keep going, shall we? Bruh, I didn't play episode 3. What? I just looked it up on Steam, and apparently older saves of this game don't work anymore. So we will have to start up a new game. Habe ich schon wieder die falsche genommen? Oh, willst du mich verarschen? Alright. So I wanted to pick up where we left off. The only problem is I have literally no idea what kind of stuff we picked. So I already skipped through everything 2 times, picking the wrong answers. I'm gonna do it a 3rd time now, just to bring us back where we were. And hopefully, this time, I'll actually pick the stuff that we picked last time, so we can continue on with the story as we did. Oh my god. I did it. Finally. 3rd time's the charm. We're back where we left off. Just a slightly little bit inconvenient that we couldn't just use our last save, but whatever. We're through with it now. Let's continue. Let's just do this. Episode 3, On End the Wolf's Grey Fur Will Stand. Alright, let's give this a shot, shall we? Alright, we got 2 children missing already. Nice, we're building up a nice little collection, you know. Starting to feel like FNAF in here. He's the one who hated Babarin. Is that us? Oh, they're talking about us, okay. I've heard he's a weirdo. Do those kids really think that it was me? I didn't even know the other guy. I hurriedly rubbed my glasses. The glasses! Semyon was clutching them in his fist while I was getting beaten up. And in just a couple of hours, this lost item was lying on the ledge of my window. Maybe he just ran away. Maybe he just ran away and wanted to be nice and give you your glasses back before he went. Of course. It was hard to imagine that Sioma suddenly got guilty conscience and returned my glasses in such a strange way. Hey, you never know! You barely know the guy. Maybe he has a kind heart after all. I was shocked, but kept walking toward the classroom, accompanied by nasty whispers all around me. That photo still stood before my eyes. Semyon has gone missing. Semyon is gone. His fat fingers will never get to my throat. His signet ring won't smash into my chin. He'll never humiliate me again. Wasn't that what I wished for? On the other hand, did I really wish Semyon to become a murky stain on the notice board? He was still someone's son, or a grandson, and he went through the same struggles as me. Did I really wish for my unseen companion to dispatch him in such a brutal fashion? You don't even know what happened to him. Maybe he just went out for a walk. Who knows? I didn't know the answer. Or I was just scared of it. Nonetheless, school still had something nice about it. Yeah, your waifu. Didn't forget about her. Polina, the girl with a violin, was like a mountain spring, like well water that you gulp down, pressing your lips against the zinc outer ring of a bucket and can't ever get enough. That's a weird way to describe kissing a girl, Anton. Please don't say it like that. What if I make her one of the characters in the story I'll draw? The protagonist will save her from terrifying monsters. I have a slight feeling this girl will die at some point during the story. Just a thought, just a hunch. As soon as I thought of monsters, a bunch of my classmates slid down the rails, smirking like the xenomorphs from the Alien. I know those! Also, I don't think I've ever seen them smile before. You sure you're making the reference you think you're making here? I immediately felt larvae of fear right in my stomach. There we go again. I didn't want to cross paths with Romka and Biasha after what happened yesterday, especially since Semyon suddenly went missing. I entered the classroom and went towards the last row. All of the chatter suddenly died down, so I walked there in complete silence. It felt like my classmates pushed and poked me with their stares. They carefully observed my every move. They looked at me with a mortifying mix of pity, ridicule, and derision, like a scientist looks at an ugly representative of a newfound species of worms. I stared at the desk with a huge pile of library textbooks on top, my fists clenched. It felt like I was the one who disappeared in that snowy forest, and my desk was finally used for something worthwhile. Semyon's empty chair stood in front of me. The chair that once belonged to Vova was gathering dust somewhere in another classroom. I mean, they could just leave it there. I guess we're gonna sit down. Doesn't look like we have a choice. After a moment of hesitation, I sat down at Baburin's desk, the place where I was supposed to be assigned by Lilia Pavlovna at first. The chatter resumed as if someone just unpaused a movie. Baburin's grandma made such a fuss when he didn't return home. First, she ran to the school, then called the cops. Yes. Katya snuck a cunning glance at me, then leaned into her neighbor and whispered something. Girls from the second row also leaned in. She shared something with them, too. Whispers, nods. I kept catching her stare on myself. Her neighbors stared, too. The whole class was watching me. It was like they felt the need to watch me because they were searching for traces of blood on my fingers. I didn't kill the guy. Damn it. I'm like half his size. In width and in length. I wanted to defend myself and shout, "Guys, listen, I'm innocent." The delinquents turned around and stared at me in silence. Their looks were dripping with malice. But why? Do they all know something I don't know? Like, did I actually kill him and just not remember it? And they all saw me? Like, what's the deal? What's going on here? What did I do to them? That friend went missing and they're still focused on me. Suddenly, I noticed Biasha drilling a hole in my nose with his eyes. What? Also, that dude has a weird-ass haircut. Who cuts their hair like that? I'm sorry, but you deserve to be bullied for that. It felt like he was about to point his finger at me and shout at the top of his lungs, "Everyone, look! Baburin snatched his glasses yesterday, and now he has them back. Murderer!" Yes, because that's a reasonable assumption to make. But he remained silent, as if there was nothing special at all about my glasses. I may be going mad, but I think Biasha knows something. He knows something, but he won't tell me what. As if looking for protection, I clutched the ruler until my hand hurt. You don't have to be Columbo to solve this. Some kind of detective? Wait, is it in here? Nope. There we go. Columbus. Who is it? American crime drama television series. Yeah, detective. There we go. I've never heard of him, but I guess so. Who held a grudge against Baburin? Honestly, Baburin was a bully to pretty much everyone in the school. I feel like I wouldn't be the only one who would hold a grudge against him. Who hit him yesterday? Bullied him, and then... The metal ruler fell out of my weak fingers. It hit the floor with a jingle, and that made the other kids shudder. Katya bit her tongue and squirmed nervously. Chairs scraped against the floor. My classmates moved away from me, closer to the exit, toward the teacher's desk. I was not the only one to catch wind of that change. Romka and Biasha looked around and winced in contempt. Too bad that they weren't afraid of me like everybody else. Shut it. I bet your Baburin just got a whipping from his old hag and ran off. They'll find him soon. See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. They'll find him, all right. In a ravine with his stomach cut open. Damn, girl. I gulped. I imagined Sioma on a snowy blanket, his face white like a fish belly, split down the middle by the crevice of his mouth, snowflakes falling on his glassy eyes and filling up his throat. See? I could almost hear his condescending tone. It's all your fault. But why was Semyon the only one But why was Simeon the only one get his just desserts for bullying me? Oh, okay, that's a sentence. Weren't all of them supposed to disappear? Romka, Biasha, Katya, along with every laughing onlooker. Of course, Semyon did me a favor by disappearing. Thanks to him, my classmates now stared at me in awe. But that was only one side of the coin. What if I'll have to repay that favor soon? The door creaked. Polina entered the classroom. Waifu's back! Woo! I straightened up in a hurry so she wouldn't see me looking like a scared critter. Polina went to her seat without looking at me. All right. The ring of thrill announced the start of the class. All right, stop messing around. Class, stand up. All right. Lilia Pavlovna went to her desk, followed by a policeman in an uniform. It was the man that visited us just recently. Tall, and his stare so sharp you could get caught on it. Hello there, kids! Hi! What's up, Mr. Policeman? You can sit down, kids. This is Senior Lieutenant Konstantin Vladimirovich Tikhonov. Alrighty. He's going to ask you a couple of questions and give you a small PSA. The class livened up. Talking to a policeman was way better than studying. Yeah, sure. Probably. I, on the other hand, was ready to sit through hundreds of hours of Russian literature just to escape the lieutenant's oppressive stare. His brown eyes felt around the classroom, looking for me. Hair stood on the back of my neck, and an icicle had lodged in my gut. Why is he staring at me? I'm a child. Is it true that Baburin got killed by a serial killer? Shush, Ekaterina. Let the adults ask questions here. We're all scared. Maybe the killer is somewhere close. Maybe they're even sitting among us. Her sly stare was directed at me. Tikhonov stepped in between the rows of desks and started walking at an excruciatingly slow pace, brushing his fingers against the chairs he passed by. Some of the students almost broke their necks following his movements. That's how a crowd of commoners would gleefully anticipate a public execution in the Middle Ages. He just walked, getting closer and closer to me. I gritted my teeth to stop myself from screaming. Calm down, breathe. You didn't kill or kidnap anyone. He already knew the answer to his question, but the policeman still asked in a stern voice.
Petrov Anton?
Anton Petrov?
Да.
Yeah.
Стань, Petrov.
Stand up, Petrov. Why? Okay, am I missing something here? Why are we the prime suspect? There's literally no evidence that points towards us, except that we had, like, a small fight with a guy before. Which, you wouldn't kill someone over that. My muscles turned to stone. I got up, unglued myself from the chair. I felt like I could hear all my joints creak in the process. I only wished that Polina wouldn't turn around and see the grimace of horror on my face. If only I could be somewhere far away in the forest, digging myself into a snow pile, rolling up into a ball there. The officer stared at me as if he was about to lock a pair of handcuffs on my wrists. I wonder how cold these bracelets are to the touch. I imagined myself getting jailed and put into a juvenile detention center where tens of Semyons would constantly harass me. I don't know anything. I have nothing to do with this.
А тебя никто и не обвиняет.
Nobody is accusing you of anything. It doesn't look like it. It looks like you accusing me of quite a lot here.
Пока что.
For now. Jesus. Only then I noticed a file that says case number in his hand. It had a grey cover made from rough carton. It flopped onto the desk like a guillotine blade that slid down on someone's neck. With a measured motion, why would you do that in the classroom, in front of all of these people? If Anton didn't get bullied before, he sure as hell is gonna get bullied now. Like, do that outside. Take him out of class. Take him somewhere else. Literally anywhere else. Do it after school if you have to. Why would you do that in class? Anton needs a lawyer. That's what he needs. The only thing that he needs is a lawyer right now. Jesus. With a measured motion, Tikhonov opened the file, still studying me with his gaze. I caught a glimpse of documents and photos. They showed prints on the snow. They looked like animal prints.
Ты с Семеном Бабуриным общался?
Have you talked to Semyon Baburin before? I only knew him for a week. Everyone knows that Petrov hated him. I turned red. You ugly bitch! Oh my god, I love that. I wanted to sink my teeth into Katya's face and chew out her cheek. Instead, I replied with the calmest voice I could muster. We had a fight yesterday. But he started it. So I hit him.
Сильно?
How hard did you hit him? Get a lawyer, dude. Anton, don't say stuff. Not that hard, I mean... I waved my hand indecisively. Tikhonov looked at my fist as if he was surprised that I managed to hit the big kid from the photo. Oh, you're surprised that I hit him, but you're not surprised that I would murder him? What kind of fucking logic is that? Surprisingly, Lilia Pavlovna came to my rescue. Baburin is a troubled teen, a true pain in the rear. The officer replied with a meaningful nod and fished out a notebook out of the file.
Это твое?
Is this yours? I averted my gaze. It was a math notebook with my name on it. Ooh, is that from when we were in the forest? My classmates devoured me greedily with their eyes. It felt like even the writers on the portraits squinted at me in suspicion. Yeah?
В лесу нашли.
We found it in the forest, in the area where the tractor driver who was plowing snow there last saw Baburin. I started blinking in bewilderment. Romka ransacked my school bag. This notebook probably just got lost somewhere in the bushes. The lieutenant knew about the school brawl, but was he aware of the fight in the forest clearing? I had witnesses that could testify to Semyon and I walking in different directions after that. Well, I mean, they're not very reliable witnesses, are they? I looked towards the boys, hopeful. Romka, who sat behind Tikhonov, put a finger to his lips. And when the officer quickly turned around, he pretended to pick on his nose. What an asshole. I deciphered a signal. Boys like Romka would probably say something like snitches get stitches. Yeah, man, snitches get stitches. That's what he would say. In a situation like this. I frantically fixed my glasses. Wait, Semyon took them away yesterday, but now they're...
Так что ты делал вчера в лесу?
So what were you doing in the forest yesterday, Anton? I got to school through the forest. It could have easily fallen out of my bag. Easily, just like me producing this half-truth.
Будь осторожнее.
Be careful out there. Before I could realize whether it was a genuine piece of advice or a veiled threat, the teacher said, "Class, the officer will now tell you about some rules you should follow." So the killer does exist. We can't make any of this public for now. Whether the criminal really exists or not, you should be mindful of your safety. You just made it public. You talked about it in front of a whole class of children who are probably like 11 and are now gonna bully a classmate, whether he did it or not. Oh boy. The police, your parents, and your teachers will all watch over you, but no one guard you better than you yourself. Alright, any questions? A stockade of arms rose from the desks. Aren't you gonna give them any more tips than that? Like, don't go out at night, go in pairs, or like something, anything? You said this was a PSA. The kids shouted over each other, swarming the policemen with questions. In an attempt to calm down that chorus, he moved toward the blackboard. The grey file was left lying in front of me. Isn't that evidence that you should take with you? I stared at it, my breathing so ragged that I might have looked like someone who just ran a 100-meter sprint. Beads of sweat rolled down my back. I looked around the classroom. My classmates were catching officer's every word. Only Bromka was saying something to Biasha. Lilia Pavlovna was staring into the window, fighting back yawns. Should we take a look at it? As soon as I touched the folder, Tikhonov lashed at me with his eyes. "You left it on my desk! You left it on my desk! I assumed it was for me!" My hand instinctively moved away, as if that stare actually hurt. The officer just kept staring at me without saying a word, making me squirm under the weight of this uncomfortable silence and the sneering looks of my classmates. And then he suddenly continued his speech as if nothing ever happened. Okay, but what if we do it again? I don't learn. I never learn. I clanked my teeth from surprise, pushed myself into the back of my chair, blinking in bewilderment. Again, you put it on my desk. You put it on my desk. I'm assuming that it's for me to read. If you don't want me to read it, just take it back with you, alright? Not my fault here. The officer silently gathered documents and gave me a stern look. You should have done that from the start. It's not my fault, Jesus. Well, aren't you a curious boy, Petrov? Let me say this again. If you see anyone suspicious in the village, be it near the school or on the forest trail, contact the police immediately. You know the number, right? 02. That's a weird police number. Is that the actual police number in Russia? I'm wondering. In Germany, it's 110. I know it's 911 in I think you can call 911 everywhere in the world, but here in Germany, it's actually 110. So, Thanks for listening, boys and girls. Thank you, Lilia Pavlovna. And we'll find your classmate. Not so sure about that, but, Yeah, right. A thought flashed through my mind. Dig through enough ditches and maybe I'll be able to piece them together. Like Legos. Oh, that's fun. My thoughts turned evil for some reason and I couldn't control them. I tried to switch to the lieutenant's speech about suspicious individuals. What if I saw the killer before? What if I was a hair's breadth away from them? Suspicious people, huh? How suspicious was the fox girl that wandered in the darkness? A weirdo that always appears out of nowhere and then dissolves into thin air with her riddles and rhymes. Could she really harm the hulking Semyon? I mean, probably. She looked like she was up to it. Should I tell the officer about her? What if lives of other kids depended on this? Of the coot Ksenia and Vova too. I mean, Vova's probably already dead, isn't he? He's the other boy that disappeared, right? And also, I'm sorry, but I do not give a shit about your waifu. You've known her for like a day. That fox girl is the only friend we have, the only person who has ever been nice to us so far. Like, I don't give a shit about the other children in this class. I'm sorry. We gotta keep our friend. Wait, what if I get mocked for speaking out? What if they'll start whispering behind my back, or what's even worse, think that I'm insane? Yeah, just don't. Romka gave me a stern look over the shoulder. I doubt someone like him would approve of cooperating with the police. Katya's braid dangled nervously behind the delinquents sitting in front of me. My hand was glued to the desk. Tikhonov was saying goodbye to Lilia Pavlovna. He was about to leave. It'll be too late soon. Nope, we're gonna stay silent. Not doing that. No way. I've had enough of humiliation. I'll keep my head down. Like a bunny. For once you're being smart, Anton. For once. I locked my fingers and zipped my mouth. The bell rang. Lilia Pavlovna passed by without looking my way. Polina left after her. My classmates went silent at the same time as someone muted the sound on a TV. They followed me with their eyes the whole time I was passing between the rows. Judgmental looks. I felt like I was in the scopes of many sniper rifles. I squeezed through the barricade made of desks looking for Polina. It still looks so fucking ugly, I'm sorry. Like, this dude, he actually kind of looks like a badass. He looks like a classical delinquent. He just looks sad all the time. But I stumbled into my new buddies instead. Romka swaggered up to me. Hey, yo! Decided to rat us out to the cops? Well, obviously I didn't say anything. But sure as fuck thought about it, eh? Romka towered over me, breathing out a faint smell of tobacco. You're very wrong if you think that without Sioma you'll have a better time here. We'll make this place hell for you. Got it? Wait a minute. He has a pullover with Team Boys on it. And wait, and his says Abidas. Oh god, I fucking love that. See ya, Four Eyes. My head tilted forward from his slap. Oh man. What a loser. Yeah, am I right? I wasn't surprised to find a note stuck to my back during the break. It says, kick me. Alright. My nightmare clearly wasn't about to end.